Alright, and we're back. Okay, I'm just gonna... Hey guys! Welcome to stream! I am a seal today. We're gonna do not silly things. That makes sense though, actually, the 24-hour thing, because if someone's streams crashes, that also... And that's on Twitch's end, that would make sense. That makes me happy. Thank you, Vex, for checking that. Okay, that makes me happy. Alrighty. I had my stream saved by that a few times. Fair. 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we gotta take a break. Because I didn't count the first set of 10. I just kind of kept going. And I think it was because it was so short it considered the stream, technically. That's fair, that's fair, that's fair. I can share my screen. I just want to make sure that the VOD's still here now. Okay, it is. Okay, we're good now. We're good now. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so what happened here? I may have almost doxed myself. That's all I'll say. That is all I will say. Copy this image and send it to myself. That's all. So don't worry about it. We're all good in the hood now. Nothing happened. Nothing that you gotta worry about. Yep. But you know, we're all good in the hood now. Nothing to worry. No, Vex, stop. I'll literally restart stream again. Why is that your first response? You know what? You're getting a Rigby emo just for that. What happened? I doxed myself a little bit. So I had to restart stream. Don't tell, please don't tell Pixels. Because funny. Because haha funny. Well, fuck you, you're getting a Rigby emo just for that. And if you're like, what's a Rigby emo? It's this cat. I'm getting that cat as an emo. And I'll draw it in as your character that you sent me. Because fuck you, that's why. What a lucky lad. Happy, I'm god damn it. If Happy, did you do this bit that you're doing with Lucky Lad? Is it because you knew he would be one of the most common ones to be got, so you just kind of wanted to meme it up a bit, or is this just something that you're doing because you thought it'd be fun? You can never escape Lucky Lad. Lucky Lad is always coming to luck you. Change. I am yours to these eyes. I wish you all a very merry Bainmas. What's not quick, Mom?
Yo, Mama.
What? I just thought it would be funny if it did end up being a common pick. That would it. I mean, it is low key starting to become a curse for some people. I feel. Down. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, I see. On top. But you lips connect with mine. There you go. Yeah, a curse for me. This is fair. It's a good meme. You're getting them good. your moonstruck curse. Alrighty. I feel like every time Happy says it's I cannot. Oh, so whatever the fuck happened with my brushes, removed my brushes but didn't remove my palettes. Okay, hold on. Let me export that now that I know that. Okay, we're good. We are good now. Pizza acquired. Yippee. That looks so uneven. Do 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 do. Duplicate this guy and put him in here. I think I'm gonna flatten him now. Oop, wrong thing. Automatic this one. Oh man. Oh man. Ooh, feather. Wait, what? Invert. What? Wait, I may still have some pizza. Let me go check that. Oh, I bought you pizza together. Yippee. I feel like that didn't work the way I wanted it to. And scare you. Monster born from it. Change. I am still yours. Okay, I just remember why I don't color this way. Could I do it this way? Oops, wrong. And then feather. And I got a little bit. And then clear. I feel like that helped none. Also want to duplicate, merge down. This guy. Oh, please give. Okay, there we go. Did not want to give me that brush. I'm kind of annoying. Hey, 6 out of 8. It now is a race for who will get 7 out of 8. Oh, thing. Lay me down in this holy grave. What the fuck? I'm knocking on my door. It's where I'll stay. Okay, I think I'm just gonna redo this. I think me doing it that other way was not it. Boop. Pizza in the air. For what kind of pizza is it? Kind of pizza. Now you have 6 out of 8. What the fuck? Oh, you got Sam Squanch too. That's a rare one too. Holy shit. Asking you shall receive. Honestly, if I'm honest, twinning. If I'm honest, guys, I'm really happy I have this iPad to draw and Procreate, because like, so when Elaine plays, wait, so the beans have rarities? Yes. Oh my god, fruit bat, then you are up by a good amount of luck on that one. If you have all the rares, then it's only a matter of time until you get them all. Cause but yes, they are weighted. The math doesn't make sense to me, but it makes sense to my mods, so guess that's fine. Lay me down in this early grave. I'm sorry, I want to listen to that song again. I didn't get to appreciate that song. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. Why did you make Lucky Lad like this? What do you mean? What do you mean? He has, I think, hold on, what are the spawn rates? I'll tell you the math. Commons are 59%, rares are 30%, and legendaries are 10%. So you're lucky to pull? Nah. BLT loves sharing the wealth, you know? Lay me down in this early grave. And some would say that seeing Sasquatch is luckier than seeing a little leprechaun. BRB, no problem. We'll be here. We still know what day. Lay me down. Base things. I bought a blind box the other day. Did you get the one you wanted? Did you get the one you wanted? We love Sam Squanch. Sam Squanch. I went in the blind box. What kind of blind box? No, but it's still cute. I'm gonna show a picture. I'm gonna show a picture so I can see. Boop. How does they do theirs for the eyes if it overlaps? And it's our grave. Sorry. Okay, it's like 100%. Okay. Sorry. Down. Also, if it's a hassle to send a picture, don't do it. Stay. If you don't send a picture, I would at least like to know what kind of blind box it was. What was the theme of it? I think all blind boxes have themes in them. Okay, I would change the music. Pick send. Yippee! I'm gonna send the pick in the fridge. It's the same company as the last one that I had where I wanted the crown. That one is pretty. I like the purple. It's very pretty. It's very pretty. Yeah, I like this one. Eternal Night. Yeah, I really like the Eternal Night one a lot. Very pretty. You know what? If I had the crown, I would trade you. I would trade you. The only blind box I've ever considered really getting, because like I have the small ones, like I have I think it's like cat sitting blind box. The song is for the king in yellow code for it. On God. It's these ones. And then I have this gray one. He just sits kind of like a person. And then I have hamster with fortune. Blind box. It's this one. I have this one. And I have the one that is laying on its belly, but it's a different color. But those are the only ones I have ever gotten. But the only other like blind box that I've ever considered is the Teletubby blind box by Pop Mart. Cause they're kind of cute. These are what they look like. But I would only want like 3 of them. Hi, Chayla. Yippee, woohoo! I want the yellow one, the red one, or the purple one. I think. So I never justified getting it, but oh, these ones are all on sale for 18. Damn. But yeah, I only really want one because I don't really like the pastels. I think the pastels are okay, but I really just want the like solid colors. Personally. There's something in the oven. Pizza. Pizza. I love pizza. Check out Pop Mart's Rush Hour. What's that? We are in important. Both. A little bit of both. Pop Mart Rush Hour. Oh, it's these ones. Oh, it's these ones. Please click accept. Oh my god, that one's so cute. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I like her. She's like my favorite, I think. Yeah, I would just want hers. Oh my gosh, she is so cute. Is your daughter doing good? I am doing good. How are you, Harriet? How are you today? My face tracking is lagging again. It's pissing me off. I have her. You have her? I got that blind box when I got the pizza when we were at the mall. Oh, fair. Her name is Frankie. Damn. Wait, which one of her do you have? Oh, why does everybody have pizza? Why does everybody have a bit sick? I'm sorry you're feeling sick. Hope you feel better soon. That's cool. Yeah, I like these. Are there any other series? I guess it would. Thank you for the lyric. Oh yeah, they have like other ones too. A la mode. Winter break. That's cool. I like those. Those are very cool. Dun 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 dun. Oh, I didn't color the whole thing in. No, I thought I did. Dun, dun. Pixels, we did an oopsie. And on our work yesterday, we deleted all of my brushes. That's okay. I was sad for a minute, but then I got over it. Also, the blind boxes that I have been getting are Faya brand. Faya brand? Is that the people that like make them like Depop Pop Mart versus like different? Faya brand. Oh. I feel like I've seen these before. These ones? I feel like I've seen those ones on TikTok before. And maybe this one? These ones are cute. Oh, Pixels probably didn't hear me because he's still at work. Does this have logs in it? System. No. We have D&D in 3 hours, so I can draw for 1 more hour. Slay the Spire 2? I never got to try the first one. So is this Faye like the artist then? 1 second. I also need to see if Vitamins has a log. Come on, Eileen. Morning. I did. Oh, fuck. I forgot to turn it off. I restarted stream because Elaine did an oopsie, but I'll do it again. As a repent, I will do it again. Hold on. Okay. You guys got to stretch with me. We're going to restart the song. We're going to stretch together, okay? Got to stretch together. Big stretch over the head stretches. Stretch it up. What's up, hey Draconian? How are you doing? Okay, we're doing the left arm over the head, and the right arm is holding it. We're just gonna stretch that little bit. Okay. And then we're gonna do the other arm. Okay, we're gonna switch it. Do it the other way. Okay. All right. How was your birthday yesterday, Draconian? How was the food that your girlfriend made? All right. 1, 2. That looks like such a pretty drink. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's set 1. The sirloin steak was delicious. Right now I'm having the puzzle. Ooh, okay. You gotta let me know how it tastes. I hope it tastes really good. Work was good. Excited for tomorrow. Fair. I hope it's good. I hope it's everything you expected and more. In a positive way. 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whoa. Okay. I did 2 sets of 20s today, so I'm calling it good. Okay. Back to doodling. Oops. Wrong layer. I don't like that line there is kind of like wonky. Okay, then I think we'll do it this way then. delete. Instead of doing it the way I was doing, I'll do it this way. Come on, I lean to Riley. There we go. And now what we do is we mask it, and then we take the pencil and then we take Stanley and start. Actually, let me see if I can. Can I change the opacity of this? I think that's in here. Yes. Yeah. Okay, that's good. And then delete. I'll call this my outline brush. Rename. Marker. And then, no, I just want to rename this to color. Rename. And then rename to pencil. And then, do they have a square brush? They do have a square brush. I don't know if I want to use it though. Okay. What is it? Well, I didn't know what the end of that song was. Okay. So then that just leaves me with the question of, does me changing that setting, did that actually change this? Okay, it kind of didn't. Okay. Okay. Color dynamics. It doesn't change anything. Shape properties, count jitter, scatter, grain, scale, zoom, depth, rendering, wet edges. Flow max, burnt edges mode, blend mode, normal, wet mix, color dynamics. I thought it would be in color dynamics. Oh, is it this? Flow max. Okay, that is 0. The song plays in my head before I eat shit. On God!
The salami lid
won't fit.
So the salami lid won't fit. The salami lid ain't gonna fit like that. So the salami lid, and it's the salami lid.
So the salami lid. No, that's not what I want. I need you. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna duplicate. You know, I think I know what kind of brush I want. I think at this point, I think. To see out of the way you can stop. I wonder if it's time to. When it's time to. Wait a minute, I'm crashing out. Win or lose, it's like you were more shocking than anything I ever knew about you. maybe I'm wrong. I need somebody new. Duplicate. I just want this to be like wet mix pull. Cancel. Taper size tip. Light glaze. What does this do? Oh. Okay. Okay. Wait, so what's that? I think that's fine. Flow max, wet edges. It was wet edges. Yeah, now it works. I'm trying to decide if I want to do the line art again. Shit. Let's do it. Actually, you know what we're gonna do? Because that's just for me, we're gonna redo this guy. Or not redo, but we're gonna start working on Vexed. Gallery. Oh. Duplicate. And then stack. Wait, what? Stack. So my roommate art, since the PNG tubers were more of a chibi style. Can they teach me how to draw? Hey, yo, do they have any tips? They draw in Procreate. Give me tips. Give me tips. Please tell me. 7 out of 8. Oh my god. Sorry. Canvas information? I just wanted to rename it. I don't know how to rename this. Oh, there we go. Vexed. Vexed. Fetus. Okay. Just gonna put that down really quick just so that way I can open my Discord stuff and not. So sorry for your loss. Copy. Paste. It's not letting me paste it. This one. Whoa! Please, fruit bat, please, fruit bat, fruit bat, fruit bat, fruit bat, fruit bat, fruit bat, fruit bat. To ask them, give me their secrets. Give me their secrets. All right, there's Vexed. Put them there, and we're gonna lock this. Wait, do you like? I love creepypastas. I love creepypastas. Give me that. Give me green. I need this green. It'll be the green of your soul. I have to rename this as sketch, and I'll fix the thing later. Fill layer, merge down, clipping mask. fill layer, but I want like a lighter green. Yes. You should show me. Show me. Show me. I want to see. Okay, so we now have Vexed as fetus base color. Milk bean. Who is your favorite, like, creepypasta? Hold on, give me a second. I don't know. Because most of the creepypastas I know of are because of Creepcast. But hold on. Pastas. I feel like Slender Man. I feel like I like Slender Man the most. Like the original, like Marble Hornets kind of stuff. I know that's technically different, right? Because it was like it was like a video. It was a video thing first, but I like that one a lot. I can delete the sketch. Okay. Okay. Because all the no one ever felt this way. Also, I'm gonna have to censor a lot of them because they have blood warnings. Because creepypasta. Yeah, no problem. That's understandable. Save you the blame. Okay. So I'm gonna give you like a. Oh, you can't see. What's school and I'll be making history like I should do. I'm gonna have like a big ass Pim curl, and then you'd be like me because you're like an animal, so you'd have a fetus like mine. So we're gonna give you a little. Well, you don't have a flip, so maybe we don't give you a flip. What you do to me? Oh, it's what you do to me. Oh, it's what you do to me. Oh, it's what you do to me. Then you have like ear. Right, you have this going on. It'd be so funny if I drew enough of like these fetal beans that like the Discord, like everyone that had one made their like server profile into one of these. So that way if like someone ever joins not knowing, you know, they'll be like, what the fuck? And then it'll just be like, welcome to the cult. Elaine wonders if she should add some pink. I feel like you need a little pink to really sell that you're a fucking fetus. Oops. I want a little bit of that raw baby nature. Oh, that's too small. Actually, I'll do this. Because these are obviously going to be different. Oops. Oops. What the fuck? Okay, take two. Okay, sent them. My favorite is Eyeless Jack and Laughing Jack. Sorry, hold on. My brain is farting. I really liked Laughing Jack a lot as well. I thought he was pretty neat. There we go. Whoa. I really like Jane Everlasting. She's nice. I like her. Oh my god. Look, there's Tiki Toby. Oh my god. Oh, they make Jeff. I like how they did Jeff the Killer. I feel like Jeff the Killer is like that's the most realistic drawing of Jeff the Killer for the story that like ever. Because everyone always like overdoes it. Take you. That's really cool. Thank you for sharing that with me. I don't remember that I'm his biggest fucking support. Count me in. Count me in. Be below it? No, is it? Rename. Does your Fruitbat, does your brother know of Creepcast at all? I feel like most people that might like creepypastas might like it, but could always be wrong. Actually, I don't know how I want to do that, cause like, yeah, if I do it like that, it's kind of like gone, which is unfortunate. I wonder if I could duplicate. If I made it like normal, but then like lowered its opacity. You still can't see it. Me and have been into creepypasta since we were like 7. He may, I'm not sure. I think you guys should definitely, if you like it, like creepypasta when Creepcast reads creepypasta. It just feels like two guys sitting around a campfire reading stories, kind of. If you guys like that vibe, I would highly recommend it. I'm the biggest Creepcast fan, so saying if you wanted something cool to watch, I would highly recommend it. No, that's incorrect. It would be this one. There we go. And then clear. There we go. Yeah. Now you look more like a little fetal baby. I like it more. Yes, there we go. And then ears, and then should I give you a tail? Maybe milk beans can have not only body but also tail. Because I feel like that would be good too. There we go. Oh, okay, the art I just sent is probably the last one. Hey, you feel free to send me as many as you want. They canned them! Dude, that's sick, though. Yo. I want to be able to draw like that, so that way I could just draw art on my model. That's just so cool. Give your brother big props. Hella impressed. Someday I too will draw as good. Rename. This is the milk. Know your name. Flipping mask. Fill layer. Whoa, that's a cool effect. That was accidental. Base. highlight, milk, recolor, clipping mask, rename, recolor. Then I can go here. Girlfriend that I had in February of last year. Oh, confidential. Oh, potential. And then this is rename. This is the outline. This is the base. And rename this to sketch. Okay. I think I do want to give you a swirl. Like, I think I want to give you, like, a little baby swirl. Like a little... like that. Maybe I could do, like, a down one. Yeah, I want to do, like, a down one. Like a girlfriend that I had in February. Steer her confidential. As in a rushing around. Newborn. You a cat or a dog? I think you're a dog. You give me dog vibe, but I could be wrong. Newborn dog cat, same though. In the tail, their tails are just like little wimpy baby tails. Who looked like a girlfriend that I had in February of last year. So confidential, but I've got potential. You told me that you were a boyfriend. Look like a girlfriend that I had in February last year. So confidential, I've got potential. Oops. Okay, actually, last one. Listen, you don't have to say that. Like, I am more than happy to see any art that you want to share with me. In fact, I am honored that I get to perceive. Thank you. Oh, that braid is chef's kiss. I love the nose, too. Those ears are really pretty. Those tiny details on the braid are really nice, too. God damn. God damn. I like the brush that they're using, too. It's like a nice... it's a nice textured brush. I like that. Puppies. Yeah, I was looking at baby puppies as reference. Ooh. I don't know if I should thicken this out or not, but I feel like I should. Bruh. Still not used to how this pencil works. Boop. Bruh, I cannot. This shit's gonna drive me nuts. I should have made it shorter. There we go. See? Oh my god. When I do it right, it looks good. Fucking first try is fucking crazy. And then we have that little nubby tail. Do I want to make it go out? Nah, I like it when it goes in. Okay, I'm gonna stop saying it. Yeah, no, you should definitely just send me them because I love seeing them. Oh my god! Look at that hair rendering. Oh, that's so nice. It's like simple but so nice. Yo, does your brother have like? Oh my god! Does your brother have like a? Oh my god! Did your brother have like a social media? If so, give it. I want to look. I want to perceive. Let me perceive. Okay, now I have a little tail. Let me delete this. I can get the previous color and I can color it on it now. Also, let me save this size. Does my brother have what? Like any social media? Like, do they have like an Instagram or like a Twitter or anything? Like, I want to follow them if that's okay. Sorry, audio is out. No problem. You are okay, dokey. I'm just asking if your brother has any kind of social media. I'd love to just perceive their art and maybe commission them sometime if they have commissions. I don't know if I should blur this. Let's do it the lazy way. Okay, maybe not the lazy way. Oops. No. I'll ask real quick and see if there is any he wants to share. Yes, please. Yes, please. Because I really like their art. I could have sworn I connected that. Okay, cool. Let's see. This is an ear. Might do one more variant of this, but I might do that later. So I'll just like send this one to Vex so that way they can have it. Hey, I just don't know when it was. No problem. You know my DMs are always open, so it's no sweat. You can just let me know whenever. The ears are bugging me a little bit. Of gravity. Thank you for asking, though. And thank you for sharing this with me. I really appreciate it. That's why they call me Mr. Fahrenheit. The speed of supersonic man out of you. Help me now. I'm having a ball. There you go. I'll back to his baby. Sorry. Since when they call me Mr. Fahrenheit. Man, security patted me down. Were they at least like nice about it? Were they at least nice about it? Where's the export? Share. PNG. I didn't sign it. I don't think I need to sign something like this. Yeah, I'm glad that they were nice about it, because if they weren't, I would have thrown hands. That's not what I wanted. Where'd it go? Is it in my gallery? Come in, Mr. Fahrenheit. Okay, there we go. Supersonic man out of you. I got another idea. Yesterday, the waitress gave me. That's nice. Would you be interested in seeing the waitress at all? Of course, I have another idea that I would like to try for it, so I'm probably gonna send you another one, but that is the guy for now. Yeah, I might just do one more version. She's like grandma age, but she's nice. Oh, okay. Interesting. I'm glad you like it, Vex. But yes, I do one more version because like I have one more idea, so and it shouldn't take me that long to draw. So because I like this shape, I just want to try it with a different brush and stuff. With our new brush. And maybe different mouth. Hold on, let me look at the. I don't know if I'm ever gonna get this commission from this person, but I hope I do. Oh, but I'm not that. Oh, young. Look at this glorp model. I like that glorp model. You drawing a gummy bear? I'm drawing milk beans as a fetus. Something so wrong, doing the right thing. No. There we go.
Father help!
I've been yeeted. Monin! Okay, my brother has a Tumblr, but it's only a Moon. I like Moonman. That's fair. Momentro. Hush, whoa! I am big. Oh, that's because I used the wrong one. There we go. How you doing? Momentro. Papa 12. Okay, wait. What's that? Okay, yeah. Back row too fucking close. No. How's it going, Big Hugh? It's going good. I was just drawing Chad as beetle beans. Sent you the Tumblr. Thank you. I will follow them after this. After stream. So I do have a Tumblr. I just don't post there often. There's something so wrong. Doing the right thing. What color would you draw me as? Probably the same light blue as your username. Because I kind of associate you with that color now. There you go. Hey, you said, listen, Vex isn't green. I just draw them as green because that's like their. What's your favorite color then? It goes off of like either your primary color in your design, if you have like a design of a character that you like, or it goes off of your favorite color. If that helps at all. kills me. What? Did I add a new? I did. I just didn't click on it. About the things that we could be. Kinda don't like this, but like, is there like a radial guide? Procreate circle guide. Yeah, whatever you say, Buckle. My favorite color is whatever you make it. But do you actually have a favorite color? Oh, I just had an idea. I don't know. I guess that works. I guess. Couldn't cut it as a phone and stealing. This is how you find me. What I really am. You remind me of what I really am. Like you say sorry. Must be on a different story. I just wanna. Custom shapers at the form. Straight lines. She can learn more about the quick line brush. Okay, yeah, I don't think so. Send some more art. Ooh. Okay, hold on. My blanket is like not becoming warm. I love their hair and the color is very pretty. I'll read more of it later, but yeah. I linked it in the contact of each channel. Oh, so you oh, I've seen this. I've seen this TikTok. I like this blue. This blue is one of my favorite blues. I kind of like electric blue. It's one of my favorites. Have fun, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hello, daddies, hello, daddy.
Hello, daddy. Is Celadon? What is that one? I did hear that it's ending, but that's fair. I think the reasoning is very fair. They have the log. You're back my nose while I draw. We'll draw together. What is Celadon? Oh, this is a pretty color. This is a pretty color. Okay. Well, I will remember that for if I ever draw you. If you ever sub for me for 9 months, I will draw you as a Celadon colored fetus. I think it's good of them to admit their burnout and not to drag it on. Same. Like, and then, like, they could always, like, bring it back, like, later, you know? Like, they don't have to, like, they don't have to continue it if they don't want to. Celadon is my favorite color, though. What is your favorite color, then? Yeah. That line is, like, not being friends with me right now. Celadon is the center of the Kanto region of Pokemon? Is it really? Is it really? Vex, is anybody playing the new Poketopia game in Shy Guys? How are you today? Good. Good. I have 2, and you know, yeah, it is. What? Aura is? Does she like it? Is she enjoying it? Really, in the content copy or anywhere specific. If you want to do VGen, I would recommend putting it in the bulletin board, because the bulletin board is where, like, you know, you can post like Twitch links, VGen links, commission information. Celadon is a color. Celadon is everything. She does, yeah. Okay, fair. I hope you're doing well today, Bex. Welcome on in. Thank you for appearing here. It means a lot to me. She makes posts about it anyway, so I would assume she does. I mean, yeah, that's fair. Imagine she actually hates it. She's the biggest hater of the game. Fucking crazy. Please. Please. My cortisols are raising. My cortisols are raising. Chat, my cortisols are raising. I can't draw when my cortisols are raising. Cortisol! Cortisol! I think I have to raise myself on the stream, because when I look down, I'm like below the blanket. There we go. I had the craziest day today. Glad to unwind here. Well, if you want to talk about it, always feel free to unpack here. But otherwise, I hope you just enjoy hanging out, you know? And I hope that, like, you know, we have a cool, nice stream. Want to hear, that's what I'll do. There we go. And then I remembered something that does not apply yet. Very cool. I do want to erase this bit. And then now it starts applying, so. Right there. My mom broke the tips off. What? That's crazy. That's actually insane. I hope your mother is okay, and I'm sorry for the tips of her fingers. Holy shit. Holy fuck. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I hope she's okay. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. And this is why I am afraid to get hurt. I'm gonna be honest, I'm such a pussy about getting hurt. Someone from urgent care, thank god, but yeah, oh my god. I'd probably, if I'm real with you, if that ever happened to me, I'd probably just faint. I'd probably pass the fuck out. I'm not good at handling pain a lot of the times, unless it's emotional. And so, like, if that were to just happen to me, I would just faint. I don't think I could handle it. Okay, is this just it? Not the whole finger? Yeah, that's fair. That is fair. How do I like it? I forgot an arm. I don't know if this is technically better or worse, but just want to see how it looks in general, I guess. See. That was a little extreme on the back side. On the side. A little extreme on that. There you go. I don't know if I like it more or less. Or it's like same. It's kind of same in my opinion. What's the one I sent? It gives me similar vibes, if I'm honest. So I'm not like 100% sold one way or the other. I think. Like you. I'm not like super sold one way or the other, I think. Color. Okay, I think this was when I'd use like a maybe not that big of a brush. Thank God for the like fucking shape like guide tools in this. Without them, I think I'd just be still doing vector art, I think. If I didn't have the luxury of stabilization and what else? Stabilization and kind of like the line correction from Procreate, I think I'd be very not awesome off. What are you drawing? So chat, I have a my chat mascot is called a milk bean. It essentially is it's the essence of your soul encapsulated in a little pill of milk. And it's this little guy. It's this. This is you, but you can customize it however you want because we have it with stream avatars when I have it open. And so whenever you sub and you hit 9 months sub, I draw your little you as a fetus version of it because 9-month subs are called our sub babies, I have learned. So now I must draw that. And I also have a weird thing where I collect drawings of my VTuber as a fetus. So I learned about lines. Line stabilization is so nice. Like, I have learned I am just one shaky ass motherfucker. And there's nothing I can do about it. So the only thing I can try to do about it is has line stabilization. I don't know what we're listening to. This is not it. Playlists. Playlist. Oops. Mixed. You're mixed? Oh, interesting. Netflix, chill, sleep, jazz, metal, in the car. Let's do this one. I like the next 4 songs. When does one get a fetus drawing? You will get one probably, if you want, I could do one today for you. Well, I'm in D&D. Unless you want me to work on it on stream. I am totally okay if you're like, I would prefer if you worked on it on stream. But you, I think, are in the list of names. Yeah, Vexed, Fruitbat, Mew, Daedalus. Oh, I put you in here twice. My bad. Shadow, Shay, Pixels, Pancake, Jaeger, my mom, Kuma, Sim, Rhino. I put Mew in here twice as well. Kiwi and Buster all get 9-month fetuses. Same, I have Trevor's and my mom's friend literally taught it to me today. Awesome. Yeah, it's a really nice feeling, like, I guess knowing that, like, art has that accommodation, especially in, like, digital art. Like, I don't know why, but I never really feel like my hand is as shaky when I'm doing, like, traditional art, but when I'm doing, digital art, it's just shaky as fuck. And I don't know if it's because, like, it's a smooth surface on another smooth surface or not, but I just learned I feel very shaky when it comes to, like, drawing on, like, a tablet. And it's even, specifically a screen tablet as well. I see on stream. Yes. Also, the design for my episode would be updated to the PNG one if you want. Yes, please. Then I'll work on that tomorrow. I will happily make that for you tomorrow. Maybe I should give like everyone like an accessory. I think that could be fun. Oh, that's not gonna work because I didn't do this bottom part. Like a lollipop, a spinny top hat would be funny. What else? What else would be fun? I'm still standing than I ever did. Look at yourself. There you go. There you go. Again, don't have like a strong like preference. I'm eating the pizza my girlfriend made and it's fire. Fuck yeah, I'm glad you like it. I'm glad it's delicious. That's awesome. Okay, so now I do like a lighter blue. And I think I'm just gonna have this where all the highlights would be, and then I'll like blur it a little bit, I think. Saturday. So when you be a melody, really sure how to switch. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. So song, your piano man, sing us a song tonight. I was feeling alright. Oop. Rather be with me. So if I could get out of this place. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. Maybe they want you to how to climb a ladder. You climb that ladder, Pookie. Hand your bowl if I could. I appreciate you, dog. But you have all of it. You just eat good. Eat good for all of us. Drinking alone. a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. I was feeling alright. You know what? You know that thing that Twitch that throws stuff? Oh, you talking about tits? Twitch integrated throwing system? Imagine you just set it to throw these fetuses. That would be very funny. But I realized I could open the door for unsavory conversations, but I kind of want to try it anyway at some point. Is there like a baby awareness month? I don't know if that's a thing. There we go. I can see some of the shapes better. Streamer has controversial redeem. But like, would you think people would be okay with it because they're my babies, you know? Like you guys, like these are my babies, you know? They're not like, you know. But also at the end of the day, kind of like your body, your choice, you know, if you think about it. Like if you think about it, it's like giving the baby the choice. You know? Yeah, okay. Color dodge. Well, I don't think anyone watching you would be offended. Yay! Can you make it really that's all innocence, but don't make it too expensive? That'll be 3 Hail Marys. The cost is 3 Hail Marys. I kind of like that. Kind of like the solid and the gradient. I think that looks good. So this is rename base. This is rename highlight. This is light. Okay. And I'm not gonna do a tail because I think everyone having their own tail is kind of fun. And then I'm gonna make a clipping mask. Actually, I'll do it this way. Clear. Thank you for the lurk. And we're gonna make this white. We're gonna turn it down a little bit. So you can see what I'm doing. Sorry, I'm so locked into drawing this fetus. Magnifique. Do I want overlay? Or do I want soft light? I liked overlay. Like a 20? How do I feel with the background being off? Because I might just do normal. Where's normal? There's normal. I don't like that one. Thank you for the lurk. Sorry, I don't know if I said that. Milk. And then rename. You know, I think, interestingly enough, I am probably the most oddly, like, baby. I love your little emotes. Thank you. That one was made by Art Womble. We love Womble. Womble showed us that one, and I was like, want? And he's like, bet. I just got a little idea. I will do that idea. Fuck. But I gotta play game. Anywho, what was I thinking? Shit, what was I thinking? I forgot what I was talking about. Well, that might be lost forever now because I don't remember what I was going to say. Kind of liked this. Yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say. I like totally don't remember. Okay, well, oh well. And then this one. Gosh, and blur. And then we're going on the outside. Oops. Clear. Make this normal 100%. That's a 9900. March down. And then it was color dodge. Yeah. Oh, for a streamer that talks about fetuses and babies, I feel like the most outside of like streamers that actually have kids. Like, I feel like I'm the least lewd VTuber that talks about, you know, fetuses. Which I think is interesting. It's just an interesting thought, I guess. That probed my mind that was like, hey, that's weird, huh? It's like, oh, it's a little weird. What's this? But yeah, I just thought that was interesting because, like, I don't think I'm that lewd of a VTuber, but I talk about babies a lot. Marker. Rename. Marker apply. There we go. I think that'll be the new one. And then I don't want to just have an hour to play a game. So we're going to go play games now. And then I'm going to, because I've already drew Vex, I'll drew the second version. Then I have the idea for when I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons. Because I think what I'm going to do is instead of having the line art be like the same, I think I might do like a crayon like on top drawing, because there was this thing that I used to do with drawings of cats. Let me see if I can find it. It was this thing where I would draw on top of pictures of cats, almost like as if they were like little like emoji stickers. I don't know what to call them, but like you could kind of see them in like Japanese like editing, like photo editing apps, but I kind of just drew on them. Let me see if I can find them. Drawings by Miss American Pie. The Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Have a colored roommate real quick. I had to give her. Yeah, no, it didn't. No problem. That gives me time to find my thing. I don't know where I put it. It might be in here. No, those are my meme redraws, which I'm still very proud of. I'm still proud of this guy. Which I might have to try that again at some point. Where is? I don't have it anymore. No, I have to have it because I saw it the other day. Well, I don't know where it is. I think it might take too long to find. It might take too long to find. Wow. I like how tired they look. I like how tired they look. I like how they do hair, too. It's really pretty. That's a really pretty blue. I might steal that blue. It's a really pretty blue. It's a really pretty blue. Okay, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna go to the bathroom, and then we're gonna play Aquatic Store Simulator. But do not worry. I will open it first. So that way it's open by the time I come back. I'm not gonna lie, it is Honkai Star. Really? Really? I would not have guessed that with the way that, like, with how they drew. I think it's the sharp angles. Because, like, oftentimes in Honkai Star Rail, they have really soft face angles. But I like it. I like it a lot more. I like it when people have more angular, when they draw people with, like, stronger chins. I like it more. I like that a lot more. All right, I will be right back. I gotta go bathroom, and I'll be back and we'll play game, and we can chat about whatever. I like it when they have more color. Okay, new story. New story. I didn't know there was story to this game. Oh, I have to read my face right. Welcome to the aquatic store. This place needs your passion and dedication to come back to life. Your task is transform this empty space into a bustling aquarium supermarket. Start by tidying up the space, preparing the first aquariums, and preparing the supermarket for business. Stock up on everything your future customers will need. Set up and decorate aquariums to catch the eye of visitors so you can turn an empty supermarket into a lively place that will be popular amongst aquarium enthusiasts. Good luck. Oh, look at all these fishies. Look at so many fishies. Was gonna reply to my, but I can't. Was gonna say could never get a tan character in any Hoyoverse game because they're on God, very allergic to melanin. Wait, hold. Okay. Stop holding and drop the trash into the garbage to remove it. This thing. Okay. Why do I have to do it this way? Can I not put it in a trash bag? Thank you. The physics of this is very silly. Oh, I have to keep this sofa. Oh, okay. How do I clean the walls from the ape that's on my fucking... Is a Honkai OC? I was gonna say, they didn't look like a Honkai character. But I like them. Okay, so I can just throw them. I can just throw it. Save by using the device on the table. Which table? Which table? Save the game by using the device laying on the table. What table? Boop. Oh, I missed. Boop. Here she comes. The mouse sensitivity is kind of high. Yeah, that's his OC Avian, a struggling artist who doesn't get along with Ratio. That makes sense. I think that made it worse. I never know with games if making it lower or higher is better. What's the device? What table? Is it this table? What's the device? Oh, save. Oh, okay. Press tab to open the shop. Buy a mop. Mop, 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 mop. Scraper. Mop. Buy mop. Now I got a mop. I wish this game had like a little bit more.
Hello, Minka Snuggle.
Welcome on in. How are you doing today? Thank you for dropping on in. I hope you had a good day. I hope you're feeling at least a little bit better. Like, I hope your nose isn't stuffy. Can't draw, so I'm just a cheerleader for all my friends who can draw. Fair. That is very fair. Can I put this on this rack over here? Oh, can I? There we go. Stop holding to drop down the garbage. Is this garbage? Apparently. This is garbage. It's very dirty. Can I use a mop on the wall? The fact that you can't even your store is sad. I just slept for so long. Did you have good sleep though? Was it good eep? Here she comes. Whoop. Clean the dirt from the floors and walls and repair the fallen structures. What else are the fallen structures? Also, what happened in this store? Here she comes. Nice. Should have an achievement for how far you throw this shit. Oop. Oop. Kobe. Ah, fuck, I'm too far. Watch out, watch out. With the angle of this mop, I can calculate that I think I should be able to clean the wall with this. Get the fuck off my wall, you monkey. Thank you for sharing your streak with me. Whenever I take a nap, I always wake up disoriented about the time and where I am. That's fair. I feel like when you're sick, it's much more likely to feel that way, you know? I'm streaking. You are. Get in the trash can. Oh, my brain. About to let me know if I should stay or should I go. If you say mine. Let me know. Oh, here it is. I'll stay or should I go? Elaine, yes! What is it, my dear Sheppy? Did you have a good sleep last night, by the way? Because I know you went to bed, well inebriated. So I hope that you are okay. Back. I come bearing news! What news do you bear for us here at the Milk Club, my friend? Should I go now? Stay or should I go now? Be trouble. I'm the turtle known as BLT. How is he doing? Is he doing bubber? Is he doing bubber? Did he heal from his parasite? He's doing great. Yippee! And it's all thanks to you, Sheppy. It's all thanks to you because you found out that he had a parasite that was leading to an infection. He's back in his enclosure. Yippee! I know this is only filled with the stuff that is normally is after race, so I'm a lot less stuffy. That's good. I'm glad that you're a lot less stuffy. Is there music in this game? I can't tell. Did that change? Is that bear always there? Cleaned up. I'm going to finally open the fish now. Yippee! And I did sleep good. I was exhausted. That's fair. Well, I'm glad you got good sleep then. It would be trouble. To be trouble. Let me know. Should I stay or should I go? Whoop. I eat this bedpan. Yeet. Whoop. Oh, that reminds me. I work with coffee, and when we make turtle mochas, we name them when we give them to customers. And I named one Elaine because I was that what you named me? You named it Elaine? Oh my god! We're screen capping it. Screen capping it. Screen capping. I gotta put it in the cutting board. Gotta put it in the cutting board. And we're gonna put it in the coffee. Yippee. I am honored. Honestly, I'm very honored. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It feels so nice to feel so loved. But I'm taking care of the husband since he caught a cold that I had a couple days ago. Oh, I hope it feels better soon. You guys are getting married soon. But I'm sure it'll go away pretty quickly. Seems like you healed up pretty quickly too, so should be a-okay. Get the fuck out of here, you fucking disgusting. Isn't there another one? Yeah, the one over here. Alright, there we go. Just begun to buy fish tanks. But why would I have to open the shop, buy a box of any item and select it? of any item. I like the seashell. Are indeed on the 18th. Yippee! I'm so excited for you. Wait, there you go. Wait, box of any item? I did it. Press tab to open and buy a box of any item and select it. Oh, buy a box. Oh, those are my sales. Do we any have like normal shelf? I'm guessing like over here is fine. Yeet. Wait. Oh, I fucked up then. I like bought one of those. I'm ordering pizza so I can eat while playing Cards Against Humanity with some friends online. I hope you have so much fun. I like playing that game with friends. Okay, so we have one extra. I think I don't really know what to do with that. 20 wholesale price. We'll make it 25. I would like to buy a box. I don't know how much. Oh, I have a lot of fucking money. Nobody loves me, just a poor boy from a poor family. Monstrosity. Seaweed. I forgot, what is this? I don't know what that is. Is that different? You mean meat lovers. There you go. Is that for me? Me. Item. Is that how that works? Why is it E? The pink is supposed to be the mouth, right? Yeah. Did it come okay? I'm sorry if he's a little wonky. Edit the item. Ow, 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 ow. I see your gears turning in your head. It was hard. It was hard for my brain. Listen, that was very difficult for me. Why is everything locked? Can I buy anything? Oh, I have to buy a fish tank. Buy. It's cute. Oh. I love unnamed fish. I didn't name it because I didn't know if you wanted to name it. Okay. I'm gonna call this the Milk Club. RPS7. Buy shovel and put some soil in. Buy shovel. Buy shovel and soil. I need soil. And maybe it will so, but that's okay. We'll thank you. Thank you. God, take your time. I like this one. Okay, so now thinking isn't my strong suit. That's okay. You could just call it fish if you really want to. I wouldn't mind. Okay. Buy a bucket. To buy a bucket. Yippee. One collected brain cell, and Elaine has half of it when she streams. Yes, this is true. This is true. We share a brain cell. This is very pretty. so thinking isn't, yeah, exactly. Yeah, sometimes we get a lonesome out, but all the time. Love you when they're playing. A little bit more water. I think I'm gonna name this free range, you know. Free range. Also, I think I may be sick, not gonna lie. No, what do you mean? You're sick too? Guys, you guys can't be sick all the time. Buy and pick up a rock for your aquarium. Alright, we're getting a rock. Buy for... Okay, hold on. Oh. There you go. There you go. Okay. Am I beginning to get allergies? No! It is called I'm not used to it. Okay, fair. That's fair, but please take care of yourselves. You guys should take care of yourselves so you're not fucking dying. I want all these rocks. I want these 4 rocks. Boop. 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 It's not bad. I say. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I want to make like a little... Like a little pile. Yeah. And then, yeah. If we all die, Elaine will have too many fewer. Or you could just not die. That would be sick. If you just didn't die at all. You know? Actually, I bought some extra, so I'm going the free range tank. My immune system is not built for this. Take my... You can have my immune system. Let me get sick. This one. There we go. No, I'm not making a rock pinar. No rock pinar. Only rock hobble. Right click on the dictionary, you just don't make it static. Is static. Oh. Oh. And then they won't move. I like it, Picasso. Why are these ones sad? Buy a filter. Buy a filter, it says. It's not even in the thing, right? Oh. Right click on the... Wait, right? What? Oh. Listen, 2 of the rocks are ball-shaped and... You know, fair. You know what? Fair. Fair. I'll put this right here. And then enable. And then need a heater? I'm gonna put it next to the... There. Enabled. There. But, oh, wait, but that looks like a thermometer. kind of look the same. Oops. There we go. Buy 2 goldfish. Okay, I gotta buy fish now. Buy 2 goldfish. Click to put goldfish. Click on the right mouse button. Temperature is okay. It doesn't have an... Okay, yeah, fuck off. Okay, okay. Oh, Jesus. There's a lot of things in here. Okay. Temperature. The temperature's too hot. The temperature's too hot, chat. Oh, no. Made it too warm. Click on the name and enter a new name of your fish. Steward. Okay, that's not the point right now. It's too hot for them. Like, maybe like 60 degrees? Is that good? Okay, that's good. They want more plants? They want more plants. I'll buy another plant. No, I can't. It locked me out of it. The fish are not happy. Ew. Make the perimeters of the fish aquarium. Okay, wait. Now can I buy the plants? Yeah. I want ravioli. Ravioli. That's fair. Sorry that I don't have any ravioli for you. Okay, now the temperature is too cold. So maybe like a 66? I want to rename these. What shall we name? I'm going to name these Sheps. Sheps. Sheeps? Sheps. Sheps. There we go. Sheps. For Sheppy. Okay, the temperature is better. You know what? This fish name is Rap. That's a perfect name! Oh my goodness, that's a really good name. Oh wait, they had a baby! The Sheps had a baby! Okay, it wants a little bit more plants. Hold on. 68. And then some more plants. Turn when you right click on one of them and inspect the aquarium and sell the fish. Oh wait, I can have each okay, this one's Sheppy. And then I sold Sheppy by accident. I didn't mean to. Hold on, I gotta buy new fish. I fucked up. Okay, well, I will buy another fish in a second. Aquarium background. Oh, sorry, you didn't see me slap. Hold on, wait. You didn't see me slap because I was under my thingy. I tweet. I liked this one. There we go. Pick and buy a lamp? Well, there's only one lamp. Why not on the side of the tank? Blue, green, yellow, red, pink, white. White? There. Time to see our aquarium close up. Click on the aquarium and switch to free movement mode. Oh, I can zoom in. Wait, where'd that other fish come from? There's another one. Wait, what the fuck? Okay, wait, we got Sheppy. And then fruit bat. And then once they have a baby, we'll name that one Moon. Swimming with the fishes. You must have hold and right click. Hold right click, then left click to grab the aquarium. Oh, okay. Yay! Wait, I want you to light color. Oh gosh. Actually, I kind of like it. I am baby. You are baby. Let's do green. Oh, that's like a very strong green. Let's just do white then. Buy a new floor pattern. Grab it and click the floor to change it. Okay. Oh. Wait, you're just gonna have me change a quadrant? Hold on, let me change it. Change it for my whole store. Shit. I really don't like the color of this flower, I'm gonna be honest. Bye, but there you go. Now everything's that color. Okay, now I gotta buy a new wall pattern. Blue. Blue. What the fuck? I have to use a paint roller now? And then I want this guy. Oh, God! Who is this? Oh my God, why are they here? There's a man in my store and I don't like it. We start the fire. I like a blue little corner now. Can you paint the floor? Doesn't seem like it. Oh God! That's just a fish puncher. Dave is my dad. Hello, son. Long time no see. There's still a lot of work ahead of you, but this aquarium store. Okay. I'm gonna keep painting now. He's gonna buy something, apparently. The more you can punch. I don't want anybody to punch the fish, if I'm honest. I love the quest thing, calling your dad the customer. I know, right? I ran out of paint. Oh, I ran out of paint. Wait, what the fuck? Okay, there we go. I have a bucket. That's a different kind of bucket. Wait. Buy a bucket? Do they mean buy a barrel? I have a bucket. Oh. I wonder which one of you he will buy. Okay, buy a net. I wasn't done painting. I'm gonna keep painting. Turn it to the bomb. Yeah, it's not the fire. I wish it was like a darker blue. It's not really the same blue as in the picture, to be honest, which is unfortunate. Please don't do this. Please don't let the fish puncher buy us. I will do my best. Maybe there'll be other babies in there that I haven't named, and he can have that one. Okay. I'm not done with my store. I still need to buy. Where are these? One here. The one in the area that I can't access, apparently. Oh, wait, I need 2 more? Bye-bye. And then I'll buy the net. Wonder if they'll do like a mini game where I have to catch the fish. That applies on that? You have to buy 2 more now. Bruh. There you go. Let's go. Good luck on your fish. Thank you, Moon. Alright, who do you want, Dad? There's a lot of babies in here. Buying and using it to catch fish for the buddy. Machine to pack the fish. Okay. I have to catch the fish. Oh, I just can click on one. And then I use the machine to pack the fish. Oh, and now it's on the floor. There you go, Dad. It's okay. It's okay. Sheppy. Where's the other big one? Okay. Fruit. Bat. I need like a different tank. I need a different tank for you guys. Oh, and I gotta check them out. Oh, drag it over the scanner. Thank you. At least I can type with the keypad. And then I've been clicking on the sign near the door to see the summary of your day. Okay, well, I don't want to do that yet because I have a lot of money and I'd like to buy another tank. Alright. Literally, the rest of the stream is going to be me buying tanks just so I could have you guys. And oh, I need to put soil in it. Have I different soil? I don't know. I kind of like this soil. Oh, where's my shovel? You know. Boop. Careful, you may have bills. Bills. Yeah, you're probably right, but you know. Okay, there. Alright. I put water in it. I do like how the water looks in there though. I wonder if there are any other like actual like aquarium store games. You know? I'm curious. Even if it's 2D. Got a popsicle? What kind of flavor of popsicle? Okay. And now I gotta get Sheppy and Fruit Bat out of there. I don't know if that's the one I wanted. I think... Oh, not you. Oh my god. There we go. I think this one's Sheppy. Or Fruit Bat. One of them. That's Sheppy. Oh shit, wait, but I gotta... Oh shit, hold on. I gotta buy stuff. I gotta buy... a filter? It's not... Oh. Fuck. There we go. Sugar bomb pops. Damn, that sounds really good. I've never had one of those before. Alright, now we gotta get a I don't know why we needed like a thermometer and a heater. You know, like it's very confusing in my mind. Cause like in this game, it's got one. I think that seems to be. How you feeling, Shep? My temperature will be better. Oh, how much did I miss? Not a lot. Not a lot. I'm making the milk club tank right now. It's a big rock. I live in a tank you made for edit item. Oh, I can make it bigger? Oh shit, I didn't know that. Oh my god, Sheppy's dead! But I had oxygen. But there was oxygen in here. But there was oxygen. There was oxygen. I mean, it wasn't like one of the first things I did, but there was oxygen. Quick, get a new one so they don't notice. Yeah. You're right. When you first, okay. Well, now there is. There you go. Wait, what's wrong with this fish? Temperature? Oh fuck. There. And then you needed the thermometer. Oh fuck. Temperature 66. Okay. Okay, I don't know what temperature this is. I think 68 was 69. Maybe 60 had these guys doing. This is a lot more in depth than I thought it would be. All right, decorations, amount of pH. Okay. So then, what else do we need? Oh my god, I can see a ship. Oh my god, I can play as the fish. Oh, there's one in there. I can't get that one. What the fuck? Also, I have a Spider-Man pause. Oh, like the ones you get from the ice cream trucks? Okay. Why is there a timer? Whatever, it's like 20 minutes. Whatever. I just want to decorate my fish. My fish stuff. Keep on moving. Wait, how do I can't make it static. Thank you for the like, Norman. Yeah, just smaller. That's cute. Wait, that's not where I wanted to put that. There we go. And then I want to have like a little decorations. Oh, no, we don't have like a. Oh my god, what the fuck? There you go. Oh, we need a light. We need light. I want to put it on like that side. There you go. There you go. What's wrong with this? It's too cold. It's too cold for the thing it says. Okay. Then we gotta buy different plants? Ow! Okay, that one's good. Ow. Why have I been bonked? There we go. How you doing in there, Sheppy? No more plants? Okay. I'll get you some more plants. That plant wasn't happy. Are any of these, can any of these seaweeds like survive in this? 77, 75, no. 66, 71, this one. So we can only buy this one because this one is the only one that'll like exist goob in the terrarium. There you go. Well, that's not as far back as I wanted it to be. There you go. Okay. How you doing now? One more plant. Okay. I guess we'll just do another one of these because these are the only ones that seem to be like sustainable in here. Hey, your fish is doing great. I don't know why you're asking Sheppy to ask about that. Like a little bit more plant? Got you. How big can we make this plant? We can make it pretty damn big. Oh, it's like floating. I guess I could put it like in the front. Yeah. My fish blinks. Yeah. Yeah, see, look, your fish is fine. I don't know what fruit bat's talking about. You know, you look great. You look stunning. You look like I just put you in here, you know?
Eats the
Great.
fish.
Don't eat the fish. Don't eat the fish. Okay. Okay, how are we doing now, Sheppy? Got good plants? You need more decorations. Decoration shells. I like coral. He protect, he attack, save the coral. Okay. I want this one. There we go. What can I say? I'm a fish. Damn, gotta have to get a Sheppy. No! What do you mean, no? It would only be Sheppy, like, 2. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, plants. No comment. No comment. Oh, shit. Wait. Why did this rotate funny? Oh, there you There you go. Oh, you want more decorations? Yeah, Sheppy. Yeah. Wait, no. No. You would be eating Sheppy 1, obviously. Obviously, it's Sheppy 1. We've only had one Sheppy. Only one Sheppy. Is that enough decoration? Do you need more decorations? You need like way more decoration. Why don't you like the decorations I'm putting in here? Put the sculpture in here. You want a sculpture? There you go. I only put you up by like a little bit. Piggy fit. Yeah, apparently. I'll buy you a shisha. I'll put a shisha like over here. Static. How you feeling now? Still not enough. Whoa, goodness gracious, Sheppy. Okay, I guess we could buy like rocks and stuff. Oh my god, these are big rocks. Must have been something you said. What about now? Oh, we're almost there. Okay. Is this Subnautica? No, this is just me playing Aquatic Store Simulator and just trying to make Sheppy happy. Cause the fucking stuff does. Oh my god, Sheppy! How many more? I'm just gonna keep buying you shells. At this point. You good now? No. If I was a fish on the menu, it tells you the fish's requirements. Yeah, wait. Yeah, I don't know. I'm adding more decorations for Sheppy. How are you feeling now, Shep? No. Freshwater algae eater. This is why we are on Sheppy 2. First Sheppy was so picky, wanted more air. Oh my god! Don't say that. Don't say that. More coral. No more coral. Alright, are you happy now, Sheppy? Sheppy, come here. Sheppy is not happy. How much more? I can't put more stuff in here, honestly. Alright, what about this? Only bad fish owner. I'm learning! Then now you have like a little hidey hole. Are you happy now? Barely. Just barely. Can I please get a royal angelfish? You don't have it unlocked yet? Of course. To be honest, I might look at... Is there any other aquarium games? Because, like... Here, you can have a garden gnome, too. Can I make it smaller? I can. I wanted to be next to the busty. Next to the bust. Because I like this one, but I can tell that it's not very polished. So I'm just curious if there are any other ones out there. And if not, it's fine. Oh. The gnome got stuck. Oh my god, no. Bruh. Okay, I did it. You were frankly, they're all by the same guy. Really? Alright, Sheppy. You're pretty happy. You're sad with the fish amount, but that's okay, because I have fruit bats in the other tank. We'll go get them. Oh, I left this in. Okay. Alrighty. There we go. And this one will be fruit bat. There you go. And then how is the thing? Enable for shop. It's not enable for shop. Okay, you're happy. All right, don't have babies. Yeah, you have to have a roommate because you guys wanted more fish. I'll get one more. I'll get one more. There you go. 5 different aquarium games. That's fucking crazy. Someone else needs to get into the aquarium game. Holy moon. Alright. I'll hold right click and now we gotta move this. I'll move it right there. There we go. And then we'll call this the Milk Club. Now, please don't have babies or else we'll have problems. Okay. Alright. By clicking the sign near the door. Woo! Okay. And what if we do? I have to sell your babies. I'll have to sell your babies. Okay, the aquarium might be a little small for you guys, but that's okay. I want a roommate? Okay. Hold on. I'll put one more fish in there then. Come here. Wait, what the fuck? Give me a small one. Okay, well that wasn't that small. Maybe try. You're a fish, so I don't think it really matters. Why can't I move? I'm like stuck in the floor. Oh, okay. Give me the baby fish. Okay. Climb that ladder so good. Yeah, I'm glad. Here, happy. There. You guys have fish. I don't know what else I'm supposed to prepare. Like, that's kind of all I got in my bones. Went to fish cave and no come to the floor. It's a little scuff. That's okay. I want to buy more plants. I want to buy more plants to sell. Buy more plants to sell. Buy more plants to sell. There we go. What time is it? What time is it in the game? When do we open? Prepare the aquarium for opening. I think we're pretty prepared. I wish that you could like take this off. Like make it so you don't have to see that, but it doesn't really matter. Wait, some of the thingies didn't go into the... Oh. That's fine. Oh, that makes sense why it wasn't like working for some of them. I think we're ready to open. I guess I buy more plants. This one. I got those two. Can I buy these in bulk and sell them? I can. There. I got a bunch of gnomes. There we go. I need to open up the store. I'm gonna make sure you guys are having babies, though. I think we're doing good. Dippy moon. Oh, no, there are. But I could just sell them like this. Ow! I said don't have babies. It's not my fault. It's not my fault that you're up here in here having babies when I told you not to. You can't stop us. Whoa, I can. Well, I can at least sell them. At least I can sell them. Let's. Develop the store crowd with 25% at the end of the day to unlock level 2 to get more shells and aquariums and more items. Cool. Hello. Oh, sponges? Do we have sponges? I know I could buy a sponge. Scraper? Sponge? Where's a sponge? I don't see a sponge. Oh, you know what? I have forgotten to do something. You guys are! You guys are! I'm just selling your babies. There you go. There you go. 3 little spritzes. Okie dokie. Be $48. Thank you. You don't need them. We have enough babies to fish if you want. That's what the other fish are for. The other fish are gonna make an army. You guys don't need to have an army. You guys are the army. You're the Milk Club army. Oh. 43. I didn't know I could, like, have sponges. Cash. 512. What did I miss? Fish are friends, not food. Making an army. Oh, why would you want to overthrow? I'm taking such good care of you. There was like a little bit of a mishap in the beginning, but like that's fine. If you want pH booster, buy a box. We're looking for selling our young. You guys are crazy. You guys are crazy. I am doing the best that I can as your caretaker. I didn't even let a Mr. Punch Fish guy buy you. And that was my father. Okay, they want a fish. We're selling our young. Yeah, a little bit. Alright, I gotta sell this guy. There you go. Listen, I am doing my best. Can we meet in the middle? I'll give you guys a bigger tank. Is that a good... Can we meet in the middle with that? I just want to know. Dun, 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 dun. Why are people coming in with so much money? Paying with hundreds. The song makes me think I'm to do it. Same. Hey man, yeah, you saw that we got the pH boosters? Yeah, I just got them in. The fuck? I did not see what that guy was complaining about. What else can we buy? Oh, this is the sponge. There you go. Oh, place the card in terminal. Hello. 71. I think Sheppy's all for. Hi, Rainer. I think Sheppy's all for the revolution. I don't know if a bigger tank is gonna soothe her. Oh, thank you for the boop. Soothe her rage. I gotta bag this fish for this customer. I did not see what they wanted. I guess that's why you get so much time before you can open the store. God damn it. You heard Sheppy. God, I guess we gotta close the place down. If you guys are gonna revolt, I can't keep this place afloat. I have to close this place down. 50, 65, 1, 2. Listen, I'm already have a hard enough time counting numbers and scanning things. That card. $4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shovel? They want to buy. They want. Okay. There, bought some shovels. Make them more expensive though. 15. Nearest 5, I think, would be good. Again, I'm more expensive. 13, 15, 20, 18, 20. I will check people out once I make sure. 25, 30, 26, 30, 20. Okay. Oop. 46. Oh. There you go. Broke down that, hundo that he gave me. Give. All right, 1, 2. Thank you for not coming in here with hundreds. Because I honestly don't like breaking down $100 bills. You pay my automobiles. Can you pay my automobiles? I don't know where the salt is. What the fuck? Where's the... Ow! Ow! Salt box. Oh, it's $730? Jesus Christ. I'm all bugged. Or swim. A net? They want a fucking net. Here. Big spenders in this fish store, apparently. Though they're really only buying like $20 worth of stuff. Ooga chaka, ooga, ooga, ooga chaka, ooga, ooga, ooga chaka, ooga, ooga, ooga chaka. So we get a larger tank, right? What do you mean you revolted? You just don't realize what you do to me. Where's my net? Did I leave it over here? I'm so tight to let me know everything's alright. Stuck on a feeling. We know revolt if large tank. That was a warning. Oh, got ya, got ya. Okay. Yeah, I can get you guys a bigger tank. Might even give you guys a different universe if I can find a game that's like a good alternative for this one. It'd be beautiful. All right, hello. So I really like these kind of games. So I'm like wondering what else is out there, That's not asset store stuff. 30. Have a nice day. Hello, sir. Thank you. Need $20. Girl. 2. Confirm. Stuck on a feeling. Dredge is a good fishing game. But I think that one's like a little different because I want to own fish, you know? I want to decorate stuff. Filters are missing. Well, fucking filters are expensive, man. $4.50. I guess I could buy a box. Umigari? What's umigari? Ooka, 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 shaka, ooka, 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 shaka. How are you guys doing in here? Oh my god. Okay. Dun, 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 I don't believe it. Dun, dun, dun. You're in love with me. On a feeling. I am believing. You're in love with me. Boop. In the gnome. Boop. Boop. Thank you. $5 confirmed. These gnomes are selling like hotcakes, chat. So is this like wheat colored seaweed. And I have 2 more of those. And boop. We stand. There's a post-apocalyptic fish sim. What is that about? Tell me more. There you go. Fish shop simulator. Can you send me the Steam link? I'm building a settlement after an apocalypse. Ooh. Guys, do you guys know the TV show Alone? Apparently it's like this survival, like it's an actually like pretty realistic survivalist like TV show. And Pixels has been watching it, and I kind of want to watch it. I don't know, guys, if you guys seen it. There's a parliament. Parliament? What the fuck is parliament? What's parliament? Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. I was handed a sandwich and told what the parliament is. This guy wants a fucking fish. Boop. Oh, I have to. Alright, I can't just give him the fish. I have to pack the fish. Put it in clubroom. Thank you. Freshwater plants are missing. The fuck? The more unhinged, the better sometimes, though, you know? Early alpha. Oh my goodness. Most games are on early access anyway. I wonder if it's the game I'm thinking of. Enjoy your gnomes. Alright, paying with card. Hell yeah. Catch fish, build your store, and sell your catches. It does help. Look at that. There's a demo. This is a good boy. Mamma mia! Come on. Later on in this game, a grader NPC opens up shop where you can begin getting your fish graded. Yeah, they didn't say anything about the check but there's one. Make a shop appealing to the world's wanderers so they move into the area. Buy more worlds over the big hitters. Oh, the government. You have a dog. There's still taxes, yep. There's government, there's still taxes. You know? Probably because there's a government. And probably because they want to give you incentive to make more money. Otherwise, you could just idly fish, you know? Alright, how's everybody doing in here? Yeah, looks pretty good. Everyone's pretty happy. Oh, I can just press Q on this. Hunger? Pretty good. Pretty good hungry. Pretty good hunger. Oh, wait, the babies. Oh my god, it's me, it's you. Let's give you a bit more food. Alright, so we don't have a lot of money, and I see why they gave you so much money, because you're supposed to buy, like, everything. Oh. I don't think we have tanks enough for these guys. We'd need, like, a whole different one. Okay, so the fuck, bruh. It's a lot of decorations I'm supposed to put on sale. It's kind of overwhelming, to be honest. But I like this game, though. Like, I don't not like it. I just wish there wasn't so much, like, front-loaded, I guess. I want to look at more fish games, though. I don't know why. I just like collecting fish games, I think. Let's just look up fish. Okay, that's not what I wanted. How to fish. There's this one, like, horror fishing game that, like, is coming out. That, like, seemed pretty cool. I think it... Is it Umigari? No. Jesus Christ, that looks terrifying, though. Is it out fishing? No, it was more silly. It was more silly looking. No. Images? Lone Shark. I think it's Lone Shark. Oh, I guess I just look it up. Lone Shark game. Is it this one? Oh, it's 30 minutes, a 30-minute game. No, it's not this one either. What is the game that I'm thinking of? It had like some goofy stuff to it. Hold on. I favorited it. Hold on. Me. Well, it's singing. Ooh. 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 I don't know which one it is. It was? I think it was like in really early access, so maybe that's why it's not showing up. Or maybe I'm just misremembering. It could be any of those. Oh man, I'm gonna have to scroll a little bit. Hold on. My phone's internet's being slow. Pizza, cat, dog food for boys, puppy stuffed animal, animation, nacho libre, croissant bread. What's this? Oh, that was a 3D art video. Oh my god, my thing's not loading. Please give. Nachos. Horror co-op game. Actually, let me save this one too. What is this called? Someone inside of me. Someone's inside of this one. I'll follow it and add it to my wish list. It looked pretty interesting. 3D printing, Kawaka, giant sushi, Minecraft, fat cat, substance painter game, bug game, airport security game, tattoo flower. You're to blame. A bad name. I have a VJ account commissioned to Yay! Then I can have that that to show artists. Yeah. Yeah. You should send when it's done, could you send it to me so I can make art of you too? Would that be okay? What is this? Dude, this kid is yelling outside of my apartment. Dude, I don't know if I went too far back. Oh my god, I should have organized it. But I did it. I think I went too far back. Smiley face. What is this? It's not that. Jewelry. Urine gave away urine. Cat. Crow. Hightail. Pickled onions miniature. Sam. Oh. Our creators. Yeah, I went too far back. Monkeys. Cat. Bird. System. Yeah, I went way too far back. So, game theory, spooky, and Courage the Cowardly Dog, editing, dog, Jake the dog. Whoa. Minecraft Nito that I want. Shirt. Dude, did I not save it? That's a seal video. No. No, is that maincoow from twitch.tv? That maincoow? It is. Hello. I'm looking for a game. And I can't remember what it's called. Is it Gone Fishing? No, I don't think so. Hold on, let me go on TikTok. Yo, how are you doing? I'm good. How are you? Spooky fishing game. Is it It's this one. It's this one. Oh my god. Voodoo fishing. Oh my goodness. Voodoo fishing. It's already on my wish list. I'm stupid. Just trying to find a game to play. That's fair. Okay, I fucking found it. Okay. Okay. That solves that. That solves that. Just go on Just Chat. I want to just look at Steam. I just want to look at games on Steam. Just because I want to know what's going on. Oh, marathon. Okay. Fish. Let's do casual. I thought that was on my wish list. I was like, what the fuck? Fish lab. Simple fish adventure. Fish pond. Pixel fish. Fish touch. Can I? Yeah, Assetto Corsair. I don't have a driver's license. I do not know how to I do not know how to drive at all. I think that would be I'd just crash, I think. Lucky fish bread. Oh, it says like a takoyaki game. My fish friend. You what? I don't know how to drive a car and I don't have a driver. I live in Oregon. It's a very walkable state. We have good public transportation here. Fish box. A gonk. Yeah, you right, yeah. I wanna drive, I'm just kinda slow. Just kinda slow with it. Also, like, there's so much cost going into getting a car. I wonder, is this one any better? Aquarius was apparently made by the same guy that made the game we were just playing. Social fish keeping game. What is that? Oh my god, is this a game where like we can have aquariums and then we can have aquariums like other people can have aquariums and then you can like a happy aquarium that lives at the bottom of your screen. The tiny aquarium. Oh, I don't know. Tiny aquarium is a social item simulator that keeps growing. That's actually kind of cool. Fantasy aquarium. It's got an anime girl in it. Aquarium land. Zen aquarium. Lo-fi aquarium. Desktop aquarium. Cozy aquarium. The aquarium. Pocket aquarium. My joyful aquarium. This one reminds me of the Facebook one. Back when Facebook had like games on it and stuff that you can play, like Farmville and stuff. That's what that reminds me of. Snapshot aquarium. Tiny aquarium, swampland, supporter pack. Potion permit aquarium. Potion permit aquarium. What does that mean? It's for the game Potion Permit. Oh, it's a DLC literally just to have. Okay. That's crazy. I hope you get like 50 types of aquariums. Oh. Is this a walking simulator? Damn! That means when I did the aquariums... Oh, I guess I could do this in the future. We had a stream where we roleplayed me taking you guys to the aquarium. That was pretty fun. So, I guess I could have done like a walking simulator game. Whoa, what's this one? Wow. That might be a lot. It's got turtles! This one has turtles in it. At that point, though, I might as well get, let's build a zoo. Yeah, let's build a zoo aquarium one. It's on sale. Wait, does that mean let's build a zoo is on sale? It is! Holy shit. I might have to buy it. I might have to buy it. It's on sale. It's on sale, chat. Let's build a zoo, Dinosaur Island, and Aquarium Odyssey. Ooh. Ooh. I might have to do it. Dude, Zoo Tycoon or Roller Coaster Tycoon go the games. Really, I've seen people play them. Is there like a storyline? Like, nah, I feel like storyline is not really what I want to stay here, but like, I guess like objectives in those games, you know, where you like can unlock stuff. Thank you for the lurk. But nobody knows like me. I only have 12 minutes before I have to go to D&D, so I don't know if I want to try to play a whole new game right now. I kind of do, though. I want to try Let's Build a Zoo, if I'm honest. Where'd it go? Oh, man. I think I fucked it up. There it is. Yes, there are objectives in the game, but mostly just build stuff. That's my shit, though, dog. It was positive. What were the reviews on this? I want over 10 hours of playtime. I want to see what people say without very fun can be whatever pace you want. I suck at designing, but damn, this is a really good game. My zoo has too many rabbits. I think I just ruined the ecosystem by releasing them into the wild. The game has seals. Get it? Graphics good, gameplay good, audio good. PC requirements potato, game size old-fashioned, difficulty significant brain usage, grind too much grind, no story, long, if it's on sale, minor bugs. It's a 7 out of 10. It's really fun and chill game. I love it so much. You can just spend hours. So many cappies. They're at it like the rabbits. Which is AFK. These guys actually, it was interesting enough, the people that like made this game have made Let's Build a Dungeon where you can make, it's a game within a game within a you pretend to be a game studio and you make a game. You pretend to oh my god, you pretend to be the owner of a game studio that's building a game where you can actually make games. And it's kind of it's very Inception-y. And I think it might be a little too Inception-y for me. But look at one of the reviews. Steam purchases. I don't like. Only thing I don't like is that there is an efficient way to manage staff. Instead of being able to overlook how many caretakers and who's taking care of each pet, to go to each individual is super time consuming. I suck at designing. Alright, I might get this game, and we could play it tomorrow. I think that might be my plans. Might be my plans. I can get it now. Hold on. It's on sale for Games Aids. It's a charity sale, which is kind of cool. Actually, I should just buy the base game. Yeah, I should probably just buy the base game. And then if I like the base game, I can buy the other ones. Creature Kitchen? I've heard people playing Creature Kitchen. Add to wish list. A creepy, cozy cooking simulator where you befriend local wildlife and feed them your favorite. Yeah, I heard Creature Kitchen is really cool. Okay. Okie dokie. Mm-hmm. I'm literally opening this game 5 minutes before I got to end stream, but you know what? It's okay. Music volume none. UI scale, that's good. Big, good, done. Okay. New game. Oh, I gotta make a character. Milk Club. But it doesn't say Milk Club. Task. Select a management office. Kathleen, investor, new task. Visit the management office and say, hi there, my name is Kathleen, and I'm currently your zoo sales investor. Could you come down to the management office really quick? Tasks. All kinds of requests end up here, and I know you will want to keep on top of them. Try viewing a new task now. Build an enclosure. So every zoo needs animals before you can take it. Okay, so I gotta build a grass. Okay. I like that. That's a good size. Oh wait, I didn't build it. Oh. I don't know how big I'm supposed to make it. Oh. Great. Now that we have an enclosure, we can start the real business of fighting animals to make our zoo one step closer to becoming the best zoo on planet Earth. Good day! I'm good for you. Visit me in my zoo and I can tell you about it. Just finding Australian zoo. Gotta go to Australia. What the fuck? Oh, they have rabbits. I have rabbits. They gave me bonois. This person will have a new task after this. Complete 4 tasks at the Kuba Zoo. Wait, can you be louder? Hello! I guess. I don't really. Why am I being loud? Oh my god. Oh my god. Did the game. Oh! My bad. I'm sorry. I didn't realize. I'm sorry. My bad. My bad. I didn't think about it. Ooh, got little rabbits. Does anybody want to be a rabbit? Does anybody want to be a rabbit? Edit enclosure. I think it's too big. There you go. You know, these are fine. I just want to. I want. Yeah, okay. Which one is which? Rename. Happy or well. Okay. My nickname used to be Bun in college. Okay. Meep. Now we have happy. Okay. Oh, open zoo. Okay. We got a new grand opening of the zoo. A pen that does not have any water supply. Build some water basins. Wait. Water. Wait, what? No water. How do I build a water basin? Shop? I have to build a shop? Who I named... My username is named after my first pet rabbit, who I named after a book. Oh, that's so cute. I guess a gift stand? Okay. I made a thing. I thought I needed to get them water, though. How do I build water thing? Oh, a water pump? Wait, I have a water pump there. Storeroom. Water? Researcher grant. Hi, I represent the Zoological Foundation for Research, and I am here to offer you a grant. If you build a research hub before the end of the day, I will fund your for next 14 days. I have to build a research hub. I'm gonna put the research hub down here. Okay. How do I give you guys water? Not yet research. Continue. Oh, I have to research it first? Oh. Drink shops. Food and drink shops. I have to do... You gotta get food and drink. I gotta get a hot dog stand. We gotta get a hot dog stand. And a cola. A cola machine. There you go. Doing pretty good. I guess that there's nothing else to see here. Get that grand money! Research an item in the research hub. Wait, where's the... What? In the research hub? Wait, what? Hi, hello! How do I research stuff? We're really so tell us what you would like to... Can we research the water thing? Oh, thank you for the wellness check. Where's the water? Warehouse. I need to give you guys water. How do I get you guys water? Lake? Oh, that's all the way up there. Wait, what the fuck? I'm so confused. Can I do this now? Not yet research. Continue researching and discover more and more about this item. Bro, you guys are gonna starve. You guys are gonna literally, like, you're gonna... What the fuck? Unlock something next to it? I'm so confused. Okay, well, we researched something, I guess. Tasks. Finish tasks. There are no tasks. How do I... Oh, wait, can we change the appearance of the management? Huh? It could be like a little bunny rabbit. I like this blue house, though. Staff manager. Okay. Oh, shit. I gotta go to D&D. Okay. I have to go to D&D now. Sorry. I guess I did get a little into this game. Okay. I love you guys. I'll play a little bit more when I'm streaming, or when I'm tonight, but I love you guys a lot, and I will... I love you guys and thank you for hanging out with me. Have fun and Havoc stream. Because I will be over there playing D&D, but I love you guys.